wherever I go and whenever I speak to people or show them our troughs, or if they're interested, people are just generally interested and enthused by troughs. It's something they can do, and I love them. I think they're a brilliant way to grow. Even the tiniest little troughs can give you superb interest. Troughs that I made with leftover cement and just in workshops. So just planted up with cuttings maybe a year or so ago with this one, and one or two others around here. Here's another one. Some of the leaves that are getting blasted off the trees in the weather we're having just now. This one, planted in 2008, along with the one next to it, they just sit there. We really do very little to them. So if you choose the right plants, they work supremely well. Here's one of the I call them cliff plantings, but it's just a single lump of limestone rock that I've seeded and started to grow with Erinus alpinus. And just letting the plants come, trying to get in different colours. It was a single clone really, even by seed before. But now I've got some white ones and I've got a darker one there, so I'm trying to get the mix. But you know, you just go in and look and see look at the seedlings. The moss grows on the rock first. It's one of the first colonisers. And then the wealth of seedlings that grow into that, and it's just, this is just blissful to me. Next door, a trough that started out with Dianthus alpinus here, a lovely form of Dianthus alpinus, and Primula marginata, a really compact form. All these orchids self-seed into it. A few years ago, there were so many orchids we had to take some out. We removed 150 orchid tubers from this single trough. But they're not all. It's not all good stories. You know, troughs do get overgrown, and this one's really needing reworked, and this one's not looking very great either. Part of the reason for that is, in this bed above, we have Cyananthus lobatus, which cascades down and covers, really starts to overgrow these, so it's not an ideal situation to have them in. But they do work here. I do quite like them at the end. More around the side. The troughs with the granite troughs there. Quite old planting. Nothing special in plants. It's just creating an image. So we've got a nice rock, a conifer we keep compact with just pinching out the new growth when it comes and it's soft. And then just seeing what will grow. Grasses come in, a thyme put itself in, and the long process. I don't want it to be instant. Another one similar that's again landscaped with limestone, this one, a few troughs, and just letting plants seed in, encouraging more. Really must get sedum pilosum. I would love to get that growing in these troughs as well, so I really must get seed of that. This trough here is I always look at this in the winter and it looks terrible, and I think I'm going to redo that one this year because it just looks dreadful. It's just flat and uninteresting. But then this time of year, the orchids come up, and there's a fern put itself in the corner, and there's a little grass put itself in there. So it's all just, I can't bear to split it and part it now, so I'll just have to put up with it looking not very good or interesting in the winter. Round here another one where you can see not all the plants enjoy our conditions or like us. Tried a new Saxon here and it's not doing very well. There are some bits still alive, but I suspect that one might be on the way out. I mean, compare that, just round from the same trough, with that one. So it does show that it's not always you that's doing something wrong, it's the plant that maybe doesn't like your conditions. So finding the right plant can make the difference. Just drop a look at that sax on the corner there, and here's one that's just about died out. So I've been putting some new plants. I put some sedums in. They're always a great fill-up to put sedums in, and it helps stabilise a trough sometimes as well. You can use them to stop the soil eroding away if you put plantings. You can get sedums to help stabilise the groundwork. Just above it there's a lovely little grouping here. This is in the raised bed. So delightful at the moment with the phlox. The dactylarizas, these are Dactylariza purpurea, the small one. These taller ones have self-seeded in there, and really nice. different flowers. So they're seedlings, but obviously they've hybridized with something else in the garden. The oxalis, of course. A couple of different clones of oxalis. This is a nice stripy form. It's probably something similar to Ione Hecker or something along those lines. And here's a paler one here. We have a number of clones of this growing around the garden. So just around this, up to the other end where many of these plants flowered earlier in the spring. Looking promising. Some of these saxifrages might have some seed. And then just down to this one of the slate troughs. Again, the oxalis, and these mixed plantings. So very much what you see around the garden we try and replicate in the troughs. So it's communities of plants, mixed plantings, not a single plant. Much the same as just above it there, and then up on the cover. This area that we raised up last year. So we'll come back and look at some of the other troughs a bit later, but that's just a wee scan of a few of the ones that we've got here to give you a flavour of our style of troughs.